Hello, everyone. I'm Shelly Dressel, and this is going to be a ULB mini about just things that are going on. I know there's a lot of things all over the world, but I'm here in the United States, and there's the riots going on in LA, and there's talk about riots coming up this weekend. And, there's that part of me that's like, aren't we beyond all this? Is there even any money left for them? How are they getting the money to do all these things? So I was just curious to hear what they had to say, and then just maybe a little update about things that are going on because we're here between the weeks. Greetings. It is I, Brysentia. I wish to be the one to speak today because of these transitions that are taking place on Earth. There are two things that are maybe a little bit different, but that might resonate with you. When you look back to the planet Earth and the many thousands or millions of years even, there has been a lot of warfare, there's been a lot of violence, there's been a lot of trauma that has taken place. As the Earth has moved through this ascension process, as you're well aware, the Earth is actually shedding the energy. It's like it's shedding its cellular memories of the violence that's been going on. So, point in case, all of these different places around the world where there's been violence that's broken out, sometimes it's been flooding, sometimes it's been fire. There's been a lot of different things that have happened actually worldwide that have been Gaia purging old energy and cellular memory of things that are no longer going to resonate, that are no longer going to be for the benefit, not only for humanity, but for the benefit of Gaia. So that's the first thing that's going on here. The other thing is that in this very, very, very long process of which so many of you have been following for very consistently for 5 to 8 to 10 years, something like that. You have been very, very, very patient. You have been doing everything that needed to be done to keep humanity where it needs to be. It's as if this group and the many others that are like you have created a anchor, an anchor of love, an anchor of peace, an anchor of balance that has needed to counteract the other stuff that's going on. So in these days, when you're looking at these various things on here, I'd ask you, don't share it with anybody else because that's giving it more energy. Don't sit and get upset and frustrated about it. Of course, it hurts your heart to see things like that, but don't give it any more energy than to say, oh, this is just a bunch of crap. When's it going to be done? Whew, disconnect. And whatever it is that you can do that will allow you to stay in that space of balance. Because if you consider this from the perspective of the nefarious ones, they want people to be upset. They want people to be afraid. They want people to be mad. They don't care what the emotion is, as long as it's spewing out emotion that's volatile and going up and down. This is the loosh that they speak about. Now, when you look at humanity and when you look at where you've been, that which is known as loosh has been the energy that was given off by humanity. It was given off by the littles. It was given off by people that didn't know what was happening. It was given off by people looking at the news every night and getting all upset about it. And it was purposely stimulated so as to put out negative energy, fear, anxiety, whatever it may be. And then the nefarious ones just kind of swooped in and got up that energy. And you might think, well, how did that happen? We've talked frequently about the collective consciousness. The collective consciousness is the result of what humanity is going through. And when humanity gets in a place that it's very stuck, you can go and work with the collective consciousness as a means of clearing out the energy so that everything will be in a much better place or in a much better place of balance. So and that's what you've done. That's what you've done through people ascending. That's what you've done through people going in there and saying, clear, 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 the many, many, many times that you've done that. So here we are. It is 100% into the energy of the higher vibration, the energy of the higher frequency. You are 100% here into this space where humanity is living in the higher frequency. There are still those that are stuck. There are still those that have not yet fully awakened. There are still those. obviously, by looking at the violence. So that is really representing a very small portion or very small percentage of the actual number of humans in each of these countries. So keep that in mind. Because when you see it, the way that it's filmed, I mean, you have professional filmers that are doing this. Their intention is to make you think as if this is what the majority feels, but it is not. It's a very tiny percentage. The other thing to really keep in mind about all of this is AI. We can't tell you enough about how AI is influencing things. Indeed, when you get past this phase or past this place where you are right now, the vast, vast majority of AI will only be able to be used in that which is beneficial or educational or uplifting. But you're here at the crux where AI is just a machine. It'll do what it's programmed to do. So there are people that have been working with AI for 10, 15, 20 years. So many of you that are just now finding out about it, it's been like a year, 2 years, 3 years that you've been working with it. But you have these other people that have been working it for 10, 20 years, and they're the ones that understand how to make something look like it is much bigger than what it actually is. Now, in LA in particular, let me take a second and just look at that and see what I need to know. So LA is being used as the, how do you want to call it? The ballast. It's being used as the forerunner for change that's going to take place throughout all of the United States. And it was there with the fires. It was showing how this that state did not support its people. They had deliberately emptied the water, all those different things that went on. It was a big awakening for people, just as this is also a big awakening for people. Absolutely, there are those that are getting caught up in what's happening there. However, there are even more people that are saying, I'm not going to give it energy. I'm not going to pay attention to that. So when I look at LA and you know, I have Elbayon is here too, and Brysentia, I'm sorry, Crystallia. As the three of us are here, and as we're blended in this energy, let us look at LA and see if there's anything else that needs to come. So the governor is someone that is incredibly, horribly nefarious. There are many nefarious individuals that are in that state. And the governor in particular has been taken out and has been replaced. Now, the one that he was replaced with, there are some that say he was replaced with someone that's doing equally bad. There's some that say he was replaced and now he's just playing a role. Let me see if I can understand that. He's someone that's been replaced, and it's like an actor or someone that is playing a role in that. We actually feel like his family was taken away and were put in protective custody somewhere, and that they are okay. He was the predominant negative person in that. But after this, in particular, as things come, grinding down, then you're going to see a lot of big changes that are going to come out about this. So another thing that I wanted to mention is the Insurrection Act. It's already been invoked. It's been invoked multiple different times. And in fact, it was never actually uninvoked after some other things that happened, like maybe about 8 or 10 years ago. Something, yes, I'm not 100% sure of what it was. So this is also going to be an opportunity for people to learn exactly what that means, exactly how it can help. And there are going to be many of the National Guardsmen that are going to be deployed not only to LA, but into, I mean, it really makes me wonder when they sit and say, well, in advance, we're going to riot in these 12 to 14 cities, come join us or whatever. That just is something that is very fishy to me. And that's why I'm saying, pay attention that maybe it's AI, or maybe you'll see the same scene. Oh, didn't that look like the same people in LA? And now they're over there in New York. How'd that happen? It's because they're running the same images. So just be aware of that. But this weekend, it feels like it's going to be a pivotal weekend when it comes to the violence, comes to the nefarious ones, it comes to alerting the public to exactly what's been going on. And it feels like there's going to be a great deal of information that comes out, and there's going to be a great deal of people that will be looking out for, what does this really mean? How is this going to affect everything? What's going to happen here? The next thing that we wanted to talk about with this is that it feels that in many of these cities where they're threatening, they have already got a lot of people that are in place to either minimize that or keep it, just minimize it. So you are going to hear people talking about different things that are going to happen this weekend, but I just keep getting this sense that it's going to be exaggerated. So pay attention and ask yourself if you see something. Again, first of all, disconnect. But then if you see something, ask yourself, is this legitimate or is it not legitimate? All right. And so kind of going on the heels of that, I can still hear people saying, what about EBS? What about EBS? When is that going to come out? I think when the majority of the country, and it may be that it does not feel like it's the entire country, it feels like it's sporadic cities, that the question is, are they going to declare martial law? And the answer is yes. Now, is it going to be for the entire country or just these specific places? And is the martial law under the Insurrection Act? I get yes, they're kind of hand in hand. So some people may call it one thing, some people may call it another thing, but it does feel like this is going to be a pivotal weekend. And think about it, tonight's the full moon. This is really shining the light on what's been going on and shining the light on the changes that need to take place. So everything is lining up exactly as it needs to. You are here at the end of this movie, as so many people have called it. And so, yes, it's going to be very, very hard. But be strong with one another. Know that you are supported in so many different ways. And I just heard something else. What was that question? I could hear your questions whenever we're doing this, and I'm trying to feel up for a difference. Okay, I don't know. It just slipped through. So Crystallia wants to come forth, and we are going to invite her to just talk to you about all of this, about everything that's going on. So I will let her speak. Greetings. It is I, Crystallia. We're here, my friends. We are here. You may think we're not. You may think that everything is going backwards. But when you have a group of people that have done very negative things for a very, very long time, it's like the 2-year-old that is giving their temper tantrum. And that is what this looks like to me. It's like they're showing their temper tantrum. They're showing you like, this is the worst I've got, and you guys will have to back off because we're right. And honestly, they're not right. I tend to see most everything as there's good in this and bad in this. And the good that is coming out of this is that it's going to be a huge awakening for a lot of people. The negative that is coming here is it incites violence, and it is violent. It is already violent. And violence is never a way of getting anything done. Violence is a way of showing you what you need to move away from. And if you recall back about 5 years ago or whatever it was, when there were supposedly peaceful things going on, and then Black Lives Matter and these other people were rioting. So they had enough of their own people in power that they could get away with it. Can't get away with it anymore. Everybody knows, not everybody, but most people know, and most people are going to say, no, I'm not putting up with that. Nope, they all deserve to go to jail. They all deserve to be deported that are, not legally here. And that is what is going to restore balance. This is about restoring balance. So each one of you, I ask you to just breathe in. I ask you to feel my love. I send my love, my light through this video. I send it out into the ethers. I send it out into the energy of the earth, sending unconditional love for all, sending you, my friends, my family, my loved ones that have been here on this very hard journey. I'm sending it to each one of you that you may feel love, that you may feel balance. And when you see violence and you hear about the violence, you recognize it for what it is, the end of an era. And in just send energy of love, send energy of balance, send all that this will pass quickly and you will be quickly on the other side of it and moving on. Beloved friends, I have Aldeon and Brysentia with me, and we all three send you love and light, and we all say, remember that you've done the hard work, and this is cleaning up the end. Ansaluia.